Yo, what up? What up? What up? What's good, guys? Real quick, like, subscribe, share, comment. This is Lou Mo Podcast. I'm Lou. That's Mo. And Mo, go to his thing.
Real Talk with Mo. W.CB Lifestyle and Apparel is the word. Chasing billions, counting blessings, chasing billions. Give it the program. Let's go.
Let's go. So this one's going to be about being a father, bro. Even when I say it, I'm like this. Oh, God. So,
it's so much.
First off, I just want to bring this up right away. And this might turn people off right off rip. It's different than being a mother. A mother and father is there's a different role.
Different
there.
Dynamics.
Yeah, completely different. It's not, I mean, there's little things that are the same, but there's a big difference in the two. The father is supposed to be maybe a disciplinary.
Well,
he's supposed to be less and less.
We get complicated, but
yeah.
Men, we're different than women. Yeah. I'm different than my wife.
I have a penis, she has a vagina.
Well, and also the way we see things, right? The way we react to things, the way we see life, we see life a little differently because we're coming from different
I grew up as a man, and you grew up as a woman.
Right? And you just, women, most time you have babies, right? You're nurturers.
You got periods.
Periods, you get, those things all cause different hormones. We have different hormones. You know what I mean? So those things grow into being a father and being a mother. That's why you're saying about the separation.
Yeah, it's just different. But overall, like, if you take that part out of it, right? Because that's not what this is about. But if you take that part out of it, and just being a father overall, it's a big responsibility. Not only that, too, to tackle, like, if you have a boy or a girl, it's different, too.
Those are different, too.
It's a completely different dad you have to be. Like, I have a girl, so I have to be the role model when it comes to being a father and what she looks at as a man, and seeing the separation between how my wife is and how I am. I have a big responsibility to show her this is what a man is. This is what a man is.
But you said that. Now that you're saying it and you're explaining your side too, I don't see a real difference between raising a boy and a girl.
That's true, yeah.
Because
that's a good point.
Either way, you got to show your child what a man is.
Yeah, true.
Right. So now that you said, I was gonna agree with you when you first said it, but then when you went on, I was like, I'm pretty much.
That's true, but you also don't want your boy. I mean, I'm not saying you don't want your boy to date. Like, eventually, my little girl's gonna date a little boy. I mean, a boy.
No, that's the only difference is that you want to show your daughter who she should date, and I want to show my son who he should be.
They always say too, not only is your daughter, your first daughter,
that's
how is a female version of her father, but they also say too that I'm her first love. She's gonna see. I'm her template.
She's gonna show what love is.
Yeah, I'm gonna show her what love is. So me buying my wife flowers for no reason. Yeah. Not on the. When people look at me and I buy flowers and they're like, "Why are you? What day is it? Is it Valentine's Day? Are you in trouble?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro. I just love my wife."
All the time.
Yeah, or if it's not even that, if it's just coming home and the way I present myself when I walk through.
How you interact when you with your wife when you get home.
Yeah, my daughter is watching everything.
She see everything.
So she sees me when I kiss my wife, and she's like looks at me. Is happy and then wants to hug. She's just excited that me and her are
into the hug.
Reacting. She jumps into the hug, right? So, or she'll be. She's very. They're watching what we do.
They watch everything.
More than what we say, they're watching what we do.
That's
so,
being a father.
Me representing what a man is a very, very big deal. But also being a father, being stern, but then also being the comforter.
You got the disciplinarian.
Yeah,
we are we're the protector.
Yeah.
We're the security.
Yeah, I'm a provider. Right? I'm the provider. She understands
providing.
Yeah.
So you have a different role as being a father, and you have to embrace that. And a lot of people don't. And it's something that I don't know. I took it as a I don't know. When I became a father, I just took the role like I knew this was what I had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't even like a real thinking thing. It wasn't like oh man, I gotta change this.
No.
I already knew like this. And once I had my son, I gotta tighten up. I gotta watch the way I react to people, watch the way I do certain things.
Yes.
Right? I gotta, you know what I mean? Like I'll tell you with my son, I don't even drive and listen to the same music when I have my son in the car.
Smart.
Because, you know what I mean? As an adult, especially with, I would say, because I listen to rap and hip hop, is I can differentiate what the music is saying, and I can do that and also know that it's not real. It's like almost watching some type of certain movies. I can tell what's not real and what's not real. As a kid, he don't know. He listens to the rap. He thinks this is real life. People are really not that people aren't really doing it, but he thinks this is real life.
What it is.
He's gonna go out and this is what he's gonna be involved in.
Right.
And as an adult, I know the difference. So I'm gonna let him choose that later if that's something that he wants to listen to. But for me, I just don't do it because I don't want to put that on him yet.
Yeah,
I'll let him choose that for
let him
himself.
choose them.
That's just a simple thing. Like, I don't listen to that.
Either way, parenting wise, I'm like I have to be I have to be a leader too of my
Yeah.
pack, right? So I just try to be.
You gotta show by example.
Yeah, exactly. So even if my wife reacts a certain way, or there's a certain person in our life, maybe it could be an aunt, uncle, a grandparent, they react a certain way. I'm not necessarily saying that they're wrong. I just have to show them that I wouldn't have reacted like that in the same exact situation. So when that same situation comes up, I react completely different because my daughter's watching everything we're doing, and she's taking most of her stuff from me. So when it could be the same exact situation. Dude bumps his knee. He screams and starts cursing out crazy. Right? I'll bump my knee again later that night, and I'll react completely different. I'll either make it funny or just be like, "Ooh, I heard I get a boo boo." Right? You know what? Like I'll just try to react differently because I know the last memory she has of somebody doing that, she's gonna do the same thing that person who doesn't know how I'm raising my kid is gonna. That she's gonna react that way now because that's what she's learned how to react. So I have to change that. It's my responsibility to do that. And to catch something that small is not as easy as it looks, but not as easy as you think.
And you start to make you think about like, it starts to make you think about everything actually because you have to explain it.
Yeah.
Like when there's a situation happens or my son, gets angry or he's upset or like, the other day yesterday his little amphibian axolotl died or whatever, and he was emotional about it, and it's like that's a learning moment, a teaching moment that I have to be able to jump onto and teach something. He had to learn something from that moment, right? If I don't, then there was a lost moment, that he reacted to that. I'm not saying that it would affect the future because he's going to react to something similar, right, in that aspect, and it could either be good or bad.
Yeah.
And I got to try to turn that, we were talking about in the last one, about positive. I got to try to turn that positive or making him understand that, these things happens or life or a Jesus moment or something. He has to be able to take that and learn from that because that's how he's going to keep growing. Yeah. So, and I didn't have nobody to really do that for me. Right, so now every time something happens, it's like, damn, what can I teach him about this moment or a lesson? And it's like
those are important.
And it's fun about it because I learned too about it too because I'm thinking like, how do I explain this? Like I react to it the way I react to it, and I try to be positive about it, or I try to in my head, go through it, but I can't explain to say it out of my mouth, and then for him to understand it is a whole different
story. My thing is too is like. I think about things like now that I have a kid from my past and like what I turned into a negative. So like something happens and I had to go to the bathroom and the way my parents reacted to me having to go to, like it could be something that's simple, right? Or us going out to dinner and something happens where the argument comes out and my dad's arguing with the waiter, right? So like all these things in my head, I remember these things and they became a negative thing, a story to me. Now in my 40s, right, or I'm going to be 40, so I have to remember so those little tiny moments that come up. I have a feeling maybe not all of them, but some of them are going to be memories. So I have to be consistent on not controlling it, but at least being there to understand my reaction to this is going to be her later, her story in her 20s and in her 30s. It's going to be part of it. So I have to do this the right way. You're not always going to get it. It's a hit. Yeah, You're not always going to hit it.
All this thinking I'm doing. How it works in the end, I don't know.
We don't know.
But I know that I have to attempt to do something, right? Yeah. Because there's stuff that I didn't learn, from my father as being a man and doing these things that I'm learning as I got, like marriage. Like I learned these things as I was married because I didn't have somebody to teach me those things. So
never learned it.
Those were things that I just learned from experience. And there's some things he still might have to learn from experience. Just if I can teach him everything I know, and it still won't be enough at that time.
Might not be.
But I don't know. But I know I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen. What it is. Yeah. And I'll still be there for him down the road if he needs, it's something I missed, right? Yeah. But that's a job. And that's why I say I don't think people take it as seriously as it is. But I always say, that's my DNA. This is the only part of my DNA that's going to be living after I'm gone, hopefully. You know what I mean? Like that. It's a serious thing. It's to me, it's I don't know. I just take it real seriously because it's
another thing is just being super present. I used to think a lot about future, which I still do a little, but it's not as important as the present because every moment of my kid growing up is if I miss it, it's gone forever.
Well, that's the same thing.
It's gone.
And that's why I said it gets deeper too, because you talking about like career wise, businesses.
You have to make
like we talked about the other
smart
day
choices.
about open businesses and stuff. And you know what I mean? You're not gonna get those,
Well, I could get
years
those
back.
time.
It's crazy. So
I
it's like,
intentionally got the job I got because I knew we knew a
More
year
time.
before my daughter was coming, and I needed time. And I was like, well, I need more time than money.
Mhm.
It's more important to
Yeah,
me
more-
right now.
more time is more
Maybe the
important.
money will come later as long as I don't get injured. Maybe the way more money will come to me later. But
Yeah,
right
I'm
now,
not going off
me
the time.
being there with
I
my
need the
daughter
time.
is more important, and building a foundation.
So I'm not gonna get that back.
No, you're never gonna.
And then when they get to a certain age, it's like there's no more talking. There's no more learning really.
no.
It's all like them experiencing stuff and then you trying to explain it
100%.
instead of you teaching a lesson. That's what I think. I'm not Dr. Spock. I'm
No,
not
but
one of
it's-
these things.
but think about
But it's
it.
just how I think when I
Yeah.
grew up. There
Think
was
about how
no
you are.
time.
Yeah.
When I got older, it was questions like, "Damn, what happened?" And they like, then it's just you
And
already
not everybody
experienced it.
reflects on it either. Not everybody thinks about it the way we do. And I'm not saying that
wrong.
every father is this exact way, right? But in my opinion, it's the most important.
Probably your most important job.
job is to be a father.
It's the same thing when people say about when I have certain topics that I look at it in a certain way, right? And they're like, "Why do you care?" I'm like, "Because my son's raising up in the world that we're talking about."
It's the ultimate
right?
reason
So
to
like
care.
when I'm upset about something going on in the country or something going on in the world, people are like, "Why are
do
you
you
so
care?
worried about
What's
it?
the big
What do you
deal?"
care? It's not even you."
My son,
And I'm like, my son
my
has
daughter,
to grow up in this
Yeah.
neighborhood,
Yeah.
in this county, in this city,
and
in
I
this
have
country,
to.
right?
I have to hope to God that my
So,
morals
like-
and values were good enough to the point where she's able to
Correct.
find herself
So
in this.
if it's something I can speak out
situation.
against, or something I could talk about, or something I can have a stance against that could change something, or whatever, you know, I can explain to him better,
Yeah.
then of course I'm gonna be involved, and
I
of course
care.
I'm gonna worry about it because
I care about my kids.
and I got nieces, I got nephews.
Yeah. me
Same
too.
thing.
Same thing.
So it's like
I care.
Don't ask me why I care because obviously I have
Yeah.
my DNA is gonna run around.
Most people
after
who
me.
ask that don't have kids, probably.
Yeah, that's what most people it is. Like, why do you care? Or they just don't care about shit, and it's like, all right, that's cool. I do,
Yeah.
right? And that's is what
You
it
have
is.
to.
I care about what's going on in the world. I care about what he's
What
gonna
I
grow
can,
up,
how am I?
how he's
and-
being born
yeah,
into.
and how can I raise the kid?
Because it wasn't his fault.
No, we
right?
decided to have.
That's
it.
what I think about what people need to learn about
decided
their
to have
kids.
her, yeah.
The only reason that kid is there is because of you.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't choose that. They weren't like you know what? I'm gonna get these parents right here, guys. Where you going?
Yeah. You too.
I'm gonna pick that
I
one.
think those two.
Them
They
don't look that
rich.
good,
They
bro.
look rich.
Oh, these look bad.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. My son just came. It was just
just happened.
his because of me and his wife, my
It was
wife,
our decisions,
and we had a
created
kid, and this
thing,
was you.
and now it's
Now I
alive
gotta
and
take care of you.
running around and
Right? I gotta make sure support you till you can go out and support yourself.
100%.
So, of course I care, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course I care what he watches on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of course I care what he watches on TV. Of course I care about the stuff that comes on.
Of course, I care about his friends and people who are
about
going to
his
make
friends
them,
and what they say and how they act. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Doesn't
So
make any sense to
Get
me.
one job. That's not my
One job. That's like my
not
one
my
job
main
that I
job.
have that you can't like change. It's like that's your job to be a father or to be a mother or whatever that is.
I can fuck up on my marriage. Shit happens.
Yeah.
I can fuck up at my job. Shit happens. I'll get a new one. I'll get a new wife. I get one kid.
That's it.
This is all I wanted, and this is what I got, and I have to do the best I possibly can. And this thing is going to be around longer than I'm going to be.
Yeah, it'd be after me.
So I got to do what I got to
He's
do.
gonna go out into the world with everything I taught him and either fuck it up or make it better or live a good life.
Oh,
or
he's just
whatever.
like his father. That could be a positive thing or a negative
Yeah,
thing.
it depends on who his father was.
Exactly.
His father was a bad guy. Then it's a different
Well,
story.
it's a big old piece of shit.
That's
Then
a different story.
Kid's gonna be a good big
So
old
I think
piece of shit.
the moral is like being a father is important. I think you need to step up. No, and then I don't like to hear about people saying for my situation I don't have that issue. Me and my wife are great together. Everything works out.
Don't brag.
No, we are good. We really good. We good. We handle stuff well. We've been together for a while. So, but if you still even if you have that issue between you and your other half or whatever, your baby mama,
Yeah.
you need to make sure that you're there. That's your only job, bro. That's the
it.
only person like when you get to be in your 80s.
It's ride or die,
He's
bro.
probably gonna be at your funeral.
100%. The only one.
The only one, probably. Right? If you done pissed off everybody, you done pissed off your wife, you done pissed off family. The only person that probably,
Is gonna
when I
show
see it in most situations, the only person that's gonna be at there or worried about
It's your
you
kid.
is your kid. Even if you probably did him wrong sometimes or her wrong.
They're still gonna be the only ones there.
Still probably be the only one because y'all connected with DNA. Y'all like blood. Y'all like the only real blood. You know what I mean? Like, and almost like your brother and sister.
Especially early, dude. Every
it's like-
decision you make is
you don't
super
want to lose.
important.
You don't want to mess that up, bro.
It's super important, and it's so easy to fuck it up. And you might just fuck it up anyway. But do the best you can.
That's it.
Do the best you can.
Just try.
Try. Effort.
Yeah, shit,
100.
try.
And I've sometimes where I'm not putting 100% effort, but I'm just like, let me just finish this video game real
Right.
quick and let me do the
Yeah,
thing.
that's plenty of time.
And then I'm like, wait a second. Let me put the
Plenty
video
of
game.
time.
I said, baby, you want to play a video game?
Plenty
No,
of-
I want to play with
plenty
you,
of
daddy.
time.
And I'm like, you know what? Put the video game
Plenty
down.
of times, bro.
We
I be
hanging
like,
out.
listen, I'm
I catch
tired.
myself.
I don't want to
I'm
do
beat,
this.
or they're being annoying. I'm like,
Why
could you
be
get off
like,
me
why
for 5
don't
seconds?
you go outside and let him? I'm like, I'm so tired. You know what? Let me just go outside and run.
I have to fix it right there because I'm
it's
always
like-
thinking like
What?
that could be the moment where they're like, and that's his origin story. And then he was like, became a criminal.
He became a serial killer.
And then he
Like,
started, they started robbing banks.
Cause I didn't go on the scooter the one day.
Leave,
Possibly.
bro. My bad. Hey, you never know what
Yeah,
these
so I'm
these
like,
kids off.
I'm doing whatever it takes, bro.
It's my responsibility to lead my
It's
pack.
not. It's not up to him. It's
my
not his fault.
responsibility.
It's me. I'm his
And think
parent,
about
I'm his
this
dad.
just generation just now. We don't know what the next generation's to come yet. And it's right at this point, how I look at it is the blind leading the freaking blind at this point.
Mhm.
And how I look at it is if I do the best I can as a leader and leading my pack and
That's it.
helping my daughter and being there, then she's going to stand out in the pack of sheep and be the wolf.
That's
Or be the sheepdog.
The sheepdog.
She's a sheepdog.
You
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
that's the plan, bro.
know what I mean?
Got
Take over.
ideas, dude.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
So be a father, be a good father.
Be a good father. Don't be a
the
deadbeat
best.
dad.
Don't definitely don't be
Another
a
thing that
deadbeat
bothered me
dad.
too, I was gonna bring up was that the deadbeat dad, and then like if the dad's not there, you're a deadbeat dad. But if the mom's not there, what's the word
That's
for
a
that?
whole nother thing, bro.
What's the
You
word
want to
for
get
that?
into a big old argument.
No,
There is
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just
There
playing.
is no deadbeat moms. I get it. I say the same thing. This is what people don't.
Oh, you know what's
This
another
is a
thing?
deeper conversation.
Another
people
thing
don't
is-
get into those
Type of because it's a
stereotypes.
touchy
They're
subject.
touchy.
But and I don't want to separate the audience.
I
But
get
one
it.
other thing I'm thinking too is
I
like
understand.
my time here is not guaranteed. I could die tomorrow.
True.
I could die a week from now. I could die 2 months from now, maybe a year.
Get life insurance.
Right, but if you don't get life insurance, either way, just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
If I die, my
what you
family
have
rich.
to do is you have
They're
to.
good.
If I die tomorrow, I did everything I did do everything I could.
do it. Or if you're on your deathbed tomorrow, you want to be like, damn,
Yeah.
I
You're sick and you're dying
I was
slow.
trying to do everything I could. Hopefully, I did well enough.
You're not guaranteed tomorrow, so you have to do everything you can to stay present and be there with that
Be
kid.
present, man.
It's up to you, bro.
Video games ain't that important. That movie, that binge watching, whatever you watching ain't that important.
This kid, my
Your
nieces,
friends
my
going out to drink
Ava,
with them ain't
my
that
daughter,
important.
my
They don't give a shit.
my
All your
my-
friends you done made and lost, and
my nieces,
family
my
members
nephews,
that came and left, and this and that. Your kid is still
kid's
there.
right there. It's a part of you, bro.
Part of you. You're taking care of.
Show
them.
seed, baby.
Show seed.
You gotta do what you gotta do to make sure that you build that up, and like you said, too, including nieces and nephews.
Nieces
Like
and
these are the
nephews.
next generation coming up.
I gotta try.
I gotta
do
be an
something.
example.
At least be an example.
Yeah.
Like you might not have as much input as you would like because they also have their own parents.
Yeah.
But at
But
least if you're an example,
You set an example.
You know what I mean? Like I remember growing up, like, oh, remember Uncle Tony?
Mhm.
Uncle
Uncle
Tony used to
David.
do this, right?
Uncle
and it's
David.
like, so you got some type of example.
Yeah,
of a
outside of my
man
family, my uncle David
or
was
a woman or something in
was
your
like
life,
this
right?
Greek god.
Uncle Jay, cousin Jimmy,
Yeah.
cousin Jimmy used to be crazy. You know what I mean? Like you know. what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. You got
So
you,
it gets into that.
be the example.
Be the example. Be the great. Be the best.
And maybe right now my family doesn't see it, not yet, but trust me, those kids will see it. Just be the example, bro. You got to lead these kids. It's up to you.